Hi everybody, welcome to Shell's Homestead. I'm Wiz and this is my husband Nikong. And we're filling in for my mom today because she's going to be teaching us how to make some tomato sauce.
This tomato sauce can be used for anything like spaghetti, pizza,
Parmesan
eggplant, literally anything that requires tomato sauce.
Yep, so let's get started. Alright, so we have tomato, multicolored bell peppers, Anaheim, jalapeno, banana peppers, multicolored onions. We have garlic, fresh basil that she just picked from the garden this morning, and we have some mushrooms, and this is dehydrated oregano, and then we have salt and pepper.
And then with the tomatoes, they were cut in half and then cut off all the bad parts, and then we cored them and left the skin on. With the onions, they don't have to be, it can be any sort of onions, they don't have to be multicolored. Same with the peppers.
Very good. Alright, so first we're going to start with the tomatoes.
And all of this is still frozen.
And then next we're going to go with 1 bag of bell peppers, multicolored bell peppers. So, multicolored bell peppers. And then the Anaheim peppers. Jalapeno. Banana peppers. Onions, multicolored onions. And then garlic. Mushrooms. And then the basil. And then we'll show what to do next in the next part.
So we've got all this in here and it's pretty full. There's still some onions and peppers left. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna turn this on and just let it cook for a little while. And as it does, it's gonna cook down, and then we'll add those. And we'll come back and add probably another 2 or 3 bags of tomatoes as it cooks down. But first, before we start that, we're gonna put some seasoning in it.
So it looks like we have enough room for the onions and peppers, so he's going to be adding that in while I do the seasonings. And first we're going to start with salt. I'm going to do about a little handful. Don't add too much because you're going to be adding more seasonings in later when it's all cooked down. And then next I'm going to do about a handful of pepper. You don't have to do pepper if you don't want it, but we like pepper, so I need pepper. And then lastly we have oregano, which he's going to have to open for me.
That's just vacuum sealed.
Oh. And then you kind of crush it up as you're putting it in.
Yeah.
She thinks about
And that is my beautiful baby in the background. And that's it.
Now it's ready to go in the roaster.
Okay, so we've got this in the roaster and we're only going to turn it on. I've got it about 300 degrees. You don't want it too high because you don't want it to scorch onto the sides of the pan and make your sauce taste burnt. Also, you don't have to worry about any of the skins or like here's a stem on the oregano. All that stuff's going to come out later, which we'll talk about. But for now, it's just going to cook down for a little while. And then we'll come back and add tomatoes after it's cooked down for a while. We'll put more tomatoes in there. So just put the lid on and we'll be back. So my daughter just brought up a point that I'm not giving you a time for how long it needs to cook down because that's going to depend how much water is in your tomatoes and your peppers and everything. So I can't give you a specific time, but I'll just show you what it looks like when we are going to add more tomatoes and stuff. So you just let it cook down for a while. It will take a while. So we'll come back. This has been going for just almost 2 hours now. You can see a lot of the water has come out, but still a lot of it's frozen. It's getting there. It's cooked down enough that we're going to add some more tomatoes now. So I have a full bag and then a little over half full bag. Where's my little thumper? Oh, there's one out. All right. Put that down in there and get the lid back on. So at 2 hours, I'll come back in a little while.
Steady.
So this has been going for 3 more hours. About an hour after the last part, I added 1 more bag of tomatoes. So that's six bags total. And then it's been 2 more hours after that. So now it's finally all defrosted and really going to start cooking down for several more hours.
So this sauce has been cooking for 13-14 hours. And we're going to be putting it in this food mill with the bowl underneath it. Take it in here. A little bit more.
Focusing very well.
And then we're going to spin it. You can see that liquid going down in there.
Mm-hmm.
And then we're going to take a spoon and get all these into this strainer. Doesn't have to be perfect. And then kind of smash this down to get all the extra pepper juices. And then we're gonna put this in here for the chickens.
And then that goes over there.
Oh yeah. And then take this
Usually when it's full.
and then pour it into the bowl.
And then when it's all done, this will go back in the roaster to cook down and get a little thicker.
This is what the sauce looks like after we've strained it. We're gonna let it cook for a few more hours to cook down to get it to the consistency we want it.
So this is the final result. This is the consistency we want. You can tell about the consistency whenever you kind of sploosh it like this. You can see that it makes lines in the sauce. Kind of sticks up a little bit. Can you see that in the video?
Mm-hmm.
So that's what we're really kind of looking for. So we are going to jar this up, and then we'll be pressure canning it for 75 minutes because I do it in pints. I use pints because I sometimes use it for lunch or small batch cooking, and I like the freedom of being able to not have to use a whole quart. Sorry about the noise in the background. I'm canning right now, but here's our sauce all canned up, ready for me to wash the jars and label it. Thank you for watching.
We've decided that we're gonna call this Rex sauce because look at this absolute mess we made. So yeah, Rex sauce. I think that's a good name for it.